All right, highlighting and contouring. So I noticed in my last video, the camera's up here so I can like look at you and talk to you, but I have to see my face. So I'm going to be looking in a weird direction on all these videos. Deal with it. So highlighting and contouring. A lot of people don't necessarily understand how to do it or why people do it. So we're going to go over that really quick. So contouring is basically you're creating shadows on the outside of your face to make it either look slimmer, make your forehead look shorter, make your nose look skinnier. You can make your bottom lip look bigger. You can kind of contour your double chin area. And that's basically just creating shadows to where things look slimmer. Highlighting is completely different. So when we highlight like the bridge of the nose, the forehead, underneath the eyes, on the chin, the cupid's bow, and that draws attention to that part of the face because it's lighter and brighter and the light hits it more. When the contour, the light kind of deflects off of it because it's darker. So really when you contour and highlight, people are going to hit, like just look at the middle of your face and be like, wow, she looks flawless. So to contour, we're going to use the contour stick. It's really easy to use. Twist it up, put it on, done. So when you highlight, when you contour, you start from like the ear and you go down like that. Okay, and that's going to bring the cheek area in. Now, I have a very big forehead, so I contour a little different, but most people, it's kind of the same. They're going to, I always bring it down to that line. But for my forehead, I also do a little bit of this because I got a big one, all right? And then the sides of the nose, you just take it on its side and just do a straight line like this. And again, I'm not a big contour pro right here, and then right underneath the lip here. So when you blend it, that creates a shadow. It makes your bottom lip look bigger. So like I said, I'm not a big contour pro. The nose still looks the same to me when I get done, but it's just, I want to show everyone how you do it because maybe your face is going to look better than mine. So you can also bring this down and hit the chin. So most people say when they contour, they end up doing it in a 3, which is essentially what we did. And you can also put some down here and it'll create a shadow so it looks like you don't have a double chin. I've named mine a bunch of different names, but she's gonna stay with me forever. Now, our cream contour stick is a thicker cream. So what I like to do is I'll use like a really dense brush and I'll blend it some, and then I'll go back in with my sponge and blend it even more. Because if you're gonna just go off with the sponge, you're gonna be here a little bit because it is a little bit thicker. So tip from me to you. And you always wanna make sure that you're blending up and back. If you blend down, you're going to bring all of this down and you're going to look muddy. And then if you blend it down here, it's going to look really weird. You're just going to have like a dark line right there. So blend it back into the hairline. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect right now. We're going to come in with a sponge, but this is just going to like lighten it up a little bit. So it's a little bit easier to blend with the sponge. I like the ease of that contour stick. You roll it up, put it on, blend it out, you're done. So that's one thing I really like. So, and then we're going to set with powder and bronzer in this video so you can kind of see how that gets done as well. Because sometimes I end up with my face being darker than my neck. Bronzer, girlfriend. That's all you got to use. So, just lightly here and lightly there, okay? So, we're going to go with the same sponge. It's damp, it's full of water, so it's not going to absorb anything. And we're just gonna lightly blend it. If you blend it too much, it's gonna disappear, and you can like add more if you need to. But I've learned just to lightly do it and then like take a good look and see if you like it. Because if you need to blend more, go ahead. But if you blend too much, then you just like blended it all away and you wasted your time. So a little bit right here. Okay, over the sponge, we're gonna blend it down. Okay. I have all sorts of blemishes that just like want to stick out today. I always have those days when like I can cover them like a pro, and then other days they're just like, no, I'm just gonna show. Okay, so this is concealer number 3. This is light ivory. This is the lightest concealer we have at the moment, so it's perfect for me because I'm super pale. When you highlight, you want to try to do like an upside down triangle underneath the eye, because that's going to also bring the color down and it's going to help hide those bags. If you just do like right here, you're going to accentuate this area, and if you have bags you want to hide, you're going to be showing the whole world those bags. Okay, so there. And then always a little bit here, a little bit here. Bridge of the nose is a good one because the light can reflect off of that. And then running low. I use this stuff way too much, I feel. But it is a full coverage concealer, you guys, so it's like super, super, super great. And then I also, during the week, I'll just throw some concealer on my eyelids to prep it for like a quick eyeshadow. We have an eyeshadow primer, which works really, really well. But just for ease of what we're doing, I'll just do that. So I use it, I have a lot of different brushes. You guys can use the same brush for everything, really. So I just have this brush. I like to blend it a little bit, and then I go back in with my sponge, just like I kind of did my contour, just to perfect the blending, make sure there's no harsh lines anywhere. So I've learned to contour first and then highlight, because sometimes I get a little messy with my contour and then like my highlight disappears. So I usually go darker to lighter. Okay, so back in with the sponge, and we're just gonna blend everything. Okay, so I look instantly more awake, which I love. And that's why I don't put much foundation underneath my eyes, because I'm going to do concealer, and I'm someone, I have some wrinkles down here. So the less product you apply, the better. I mean, I'm working on it. I'm using some of our eye cream, and it's working good. But, you know. Okay, so then I'm just going to kind of go around the whole face, make sure everything is blended in perfection. Okay, so I have natural shadow. I'm highlighted here. Now, we are going to set with a powder, and I'm going to show you what I do. Again, it's everyone's preference is different. Everyone does makeup different. So, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use the face sculpting palette. Okay, so this has a light powder. You can set your face, and then this one, it kind of depends on your skin tone, but then this one I like to use for a bronzer. It's pretty natural. So we're going to do that, and then to set the concealer, which we're going to do first, I'm going to use our terracotta powder that I talked to you guys about in that foundation video. This is a full coverage powder foundation, and I really like to use it to set my concealer because it's going to set it, but it's also going to give me a little bit more coverage if I want it that day. Some days I don't worry about it. So I'm honestly just going to press it everywhere I did my concealer, even on my eyes, so I can set that because I'm going to do eyeshadow later. And I just kind of press it. And you guys, if you haven't seen the video of the coverage of this powder on its own, you need to find it because it is so good. Okay, now I also kind of do it down here because I'm not putting bronzer there. I kind of put this everywhere where we're not doing bronzer, because bronzer is going to set the contour. So kind of just like right there, everywhere like that. Okay, so that's set. Concealer set in its perfection. So now we're going to go in with the darker color in our sculpting palette here, and we are just going to go over where we contoured. And this kind of blends it out a little bit more. With the powder, it makes it look a little bit more natural and a little bit softer. And like during the week, I usually don't even contour. I just throw some bronzer on because I don't need to contour to go to work. I'm not super worried about it. Okay, so we're gonna blend it in a minute, so don't worry. Don't you worry about it. Now, what I will do is I take this big fan brush and I'll dip it in that powder, and then I go down here and I just blend a little, because if you have like a dark line here and you don't add any to your neck, you're gonna look like super silly. Excuse me, I had the hiccups. So I just kind of just throw some here. If your hair's up, make sure you go back a little bit. You can kind of go down here really, whatever. Because I like to look like a bronze goddess, even though I'm a pasty leprechaun. Okay, so with that, I like to take a big fluffy brush, and this is all I use this brush for, is to just like blend the bronzer a little bit more. And it just makes everything look seamless and really nice and pretty. So, and that's really all I do with it, is just blend that out a little bit more. So that's highlighting and contouring with the creams, liquids, and powders. So that's basically how when I do my lives, that's what I do. I just don't explain it as much as I did in this video. And that's why I'm doing these short little videos, so I can explain it more and not keep you guys on a live for 4 hours. So that's it for this. Let's go ahead and do blush actually. Let's do that in this one because it's just easier. So with blush, we have so many different colors. I've been using them for eyeshadows. Let's do this one. This is number 2. So with blush, it is pretty pigmented, so watch it. I smile. I like to put a little on the apples of my cheek, and then I'll kind of swipe it backwards, but I don't go too blush crazy. Okay, it just gives you like a nice little hint of color. Now, one thing I will say I do use on the daily now, because I'm obsessed with it, is, not that, our terracotta blush powder. This is number 5, sorry. This is my favorite because it has the blush color, but also has a highlighter in it. Gorgeous. So I will actually go over my blush with it and kind of blend it up, and it's gonna give you a nice like pinkish glow on your cheeks. You put it on the top of your nose, so it just gives you like a nice highlight, and I love it. So that's one thing I do all the time, and I really like it. Okay, next video we are going to do some eyebrows because I feel like I look crazy, so I'll be back.